South Africa is facing a growing crisis due to the rise of organized crime syndicates. Businesses in South Africa are being targeted by criminal syndicates dubbed protection mafias, and those who refuse to pay face an uphill battle to keep their doors open. This has created a climate of fear and disruption, undermining economic stability and public services. These groups are often linked to local business forums or criminal networks. The South African government and law enforcement agencies are aware of the problem but struggle to contain it, partly due to the deep-rooted corruption and fear among victims. These extortion criminals are also targeting pensioners and schools. To discuss this, we're joined by Williem Els, Senior Training Coordinator, Institute for Security Studies. He joins us from South Africa. Thank you for being here this morning. Now, what current trends are you observing in extortion crimes, especially in South Africa, particularly in business environments?
Good morning to you. Yes, the statistics are not very heartwarming. There's also been, ever since the statistics has been released, the statistics are always a few months old and then being analyzed. But we notice that even after the end of those statistics period, that there's been a tremendous rise in extortion rackets and mafia-style groups that are operating in South Africa, to such extent that even President Ramaphosa went on record as to indicate that they are really taking the fight back to these extortion rackets, and also that they are going to release all organs in power to actually try to curb it, because it's really getting out of hand in South Africa.
All right. What factors do you believe have contributed to the rise of extortion crimes, especially in South Africa in recent years?
Well, it started off with the state capture that really weakened the institutions in South Africa that have to curb that. There has been, under President Ramaphosa, there's been a drive to restore these capabilities, but we see that inherent corruption, especially within your state institutions, really hampered that. We see the capture, for instance, the intelligence agencies, your police, your law enforcement, but also of certain areas of the judiciary, really hampered the inroads that have been made by the police and by the pockets of excellence that are still present within these organizations. So that is a real challenge. We see that there's a real fight back. The new Minister of Police has got a very good strategy that he drew up. His focus areas seems to be touching the right chords, but now it's for the implementation of those strategies.
All right. I mean, you've mentioned about the strategies and the police already, but we also understand that this kind of criminal activities is now also found in schools, where we also hear that some learners pay what they call protection fees. And how big are these crimes, by the way? And what best do you think the government can do to curb this in schools where they pay in codes protection fees?
Yeah, indeed, especially in the Eastern Cape, it happened when they started even to target your schools where children with special needs are being taught. That's just a demonstration of how low these groups actually went. So what they do is they go to the schools and they demand a protection fee, and then if they do not adhere to their demands, then they have break-ins. They actually start to terrorize the school. They threaten the children, etc., etc. So, and the teachers. So that is a real challenge where they are targeting the schools, but they're not only targeting the schools, they're targeting every business. A lot of businesses, especially in the Eastern Cape, had to close down in recent weeks because they could not pay and afford these extortion fees. So you ask, what has government done? So what the new minister has done, he ordered that a special task team from national headquarters travel to the Eastern Cape, and together with the local law enforcement and the provincial law enforcement, they're actually busy with a drive to make some inroads into curbing this. But your challenge that you have in South Africa is, in the first place, our intelligence networks and our intelligence capability is severely hampered due to corruption and also the state capture. They are busy rebuilding it, but you cannot rebuild intelligence structure in a matter of weeks. It's going to take some time. As long as the political will and the resources are there, they will make some inroads.
All right. Thank you so much, Williem Els, Senior Trading Coordinator, Institute for Security Studies, joining us from Gauteng in South Africa. Thanks for staying here with us.